What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Next Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Blake Zanny Janney, joined by my co-host, Dak D. Woody Woodall. Today we have a really good episode. We're obviously going over some Call of Duty, some Rocket League, and then we're getting into an interview with one of our gaming buddies, Mason, aka Hippo Dinosaur. It's a great episode and a great interview, so make sure you stay tuned, and we'll see you there. Well, Dak, we've had an eventful weekend. Not only do we have some COD, we had some NBA going on. We had the draft going on for the NFL. Overall, how was your weekend?
It was awesome. I've been smiling ear to ear for the last, 4 or 5 days. Whenever the Bears drafted Caleb Williams and Rome Odunze or Dunze, however you say his last name, I'll learn it because I'm gonna be saying it a lot because he's gonna be
Yeah.
scoring a lot. So that was fun. I got the Bears hat on. Um, Other than that, gaming wise, COD was awesome. We had some cool matches. We had some snoozers, typical COD weekend, and Rocket League. We had our first regional and it was fun. So good weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Watched a lot of COD, played a lot of COD, and got to have some family time. So good weekend for me as well. Let's go ahead and jump straight into our matches here.
Here,
First one
let
of
me
the
share my screen.
Friday. Huh?
I had to switch. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. First match of the Friday, we had LA Thieves versus Carolina Royal Ravens. This one went to a map 5 grueler where the Thieves take it 6-2 on high rise. Nasty coming out here with a 1.38. First time he's quote unquote taken over in a series since he came onto the roster. And comparingly, the first time we've seen Ghosty go negative in a win in a while here. Not needing his top tier KD performance in like their most recent matches here. Something to note is that on the Rio S&D reverse happened. Rio S&D seems to still be a strong suit for the Royal Ravens, taking it 6-2. Gwyn, the only one on the other side positive for the whole entire series with a 1.07. This was just a Thieves needed a warm up kind of deal here. They lost a gritty 3-2 in the control, and then they got hot on that 6-star, winning by over 100 points and carried that momentum into Game 5.
Yeah, and Gwen came out kind of slow. They got slammed a little bit
Yeah, he had a
on
tough map one.
Karachi, and I think people like Nasty playing better and Joe Deceives having a really good series. It's not like Ghosty played bad, which there were
Right.
some maps where he could have played better, but with them playing at a higher level, he's gonna level out a little bit and be closer to a 1 and be able to do other things than just try to carry the team on his back. So
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to see Thieves develop. This was a good series and they still have the ice. I believe this made them 6-1 in game 5s.
Map 5s, yeah.
Yeah, so good for
That next
them.
step is just not going to one, is
Yeah.
being able to close out these series a lot earlier. They had the opportunity to win that map 3 and could have closed it out on the map 4 6-star, but like the topic, we're going map 5s here.
Yeah, but they looked really good in Hardpoint this series, and this is a team that they should beat. So good for the Thieves.
I agree. Anything else to touch on that?
Nope.
Going into the next one here, we had LAG versus Minnesota Rocker in the debut of Flames in place for Adam Assault. And even though Estriel walks away with the highest KD with a 1.4, 1200 damage, Flames 1.35 with 13,500 damage in a 3-0 victory where only the map 1 was close on that Rio hardpoint. So Flames coming out with a great showing against what I think is a poor Rocker team. They are 2-3, so they're not there's a lot of teams at 2-3 right now. But I mean, it was a great debut for the rookie alongside his boy Estriel. They all turned up and got the 3-0 dub. So
Yeah.
I was surprised at the 3-0. I definitely do. Like, I had a strong feeling that they're going to have a strong honeymoon phase.
Mm-hmm.
Whether they make that last is the question. Especially when you're like reuniting a longtime duo in Estriel and Flames.
Yeah.
So it was fun to watch.
Yeah, for sure. But it's kind of fun seeing these new guys come in and like, O 04 and Flames were both on the flank this week, so, you know, I
Yeah,
don't really know anything about them outside the game.
me neither.
So it's kind of cool to like hear them come on and like their perspective and stuff. Flames was trying to keep it humble, but Haggy kind of like alluded to, and like you could just kind of tell that he has that like shit talk like
That
dog
dog.
in him a little bit. So, he said if he can keep doing this and like they're stringing together some wins, then we'll definitely see that side of him eventually. So I mean that's kind of fun to add a guy like that onto LAG who's got the passion, and they obviously know him, so they played at a good level. Rocker, I just tough showing from them.
It's Standy dropping a 1.23 with 16 more kills or I'm sorry, 20 more kills
Yeah.
than everyone else. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, that's insane. I mean, we talked about this team maybe being slow, but when you got Standy with 20 plus more engagements than everyone else, like, what are we doing?
Yeah. We need ever since Standy came onto this roster, we haven't seen those crazy gameplays from Lens either.
Mm-hmm.
Some people might say I don't think it's directly correlated to the Standy change, but I definitely think it is. Just look at the difference. Like, look at his gameplay prior to and look at his gameplay after. Now, obviously, Standy may have a higher ceiling, some might think, than Vivid did, but when it comes to how they were playing as a team and how Vivid opened up the map for Lens, I don't think Standy's doing the same thing. So,
Yeah.
obviously he gets these kills and has a high KD, but I mean, it's not like his damage is crazy higher than everyone else with 20 plus more damage.
Mm-hmm.
So it does show that he's playing with his team, being able to trade these kills out, people that are lower HP.
Right.
But, we're still yet to see that teamwork and, cohesiveness produce any wins. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm questioning. Minnesota's questionable right now. Very questionable.
Yeah, they got a lot to figure out, and I think they're kind of in the same boat as like Vegas, where you think maybe they'll start to play better, but they just seem even more lost than where they were before the change. So we'll see. But yeah, great showing from LAG.
Yep. Good debut for the rookie Flames there, reuniting with his duo Estriel. Going into Saturday, LAG coming up again back to back, playing against Boston Breach. They pull off the Neslo here. It goes map 5. They take map 2, map 3, and end up winning that map 5 on 6-star, 6-3. Snoopy, the only one positive for the side of Breach, and Fame, the only one negative with a 0.95 on the side of LAG. Flames drops a 1.0, Estriel 1.0. This was a Diamond Con series. In that map 5 6-star, he 1v3'd the shit out of them on that A-bomb site. Creddy corner in a bush. No one was thinking about it. It's a new map. I guarantee you now that that's happened. Everyone is checking that corner when they're clearing that bomb site.
Right.
So shout out to Diamond Con for clutching up for the squad and catapulting them to a 6-3 map 5 victory. What this series is really telling me though is one, the obvious, Boston Breach are dog shit at S&D.
Yeah. Still.
And what I think is also a problem, which it's a good thing that is a problem, is that they are hardpoint merchants.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are only good at hardpoint. Granted, we haven't seen them steal one from a top 4 team, but I do think that this team makes sense to be really good at hardpoint. It really does.
Mm-hmm.
So they just need to translate it to these non-hardpoint game modes. I mean, they're getting smoked in S&D and Control.
Yeah, and a point that Haggy was talking about this Boston team is like when they get in situations in search where the game slows down and then they have to think and like you actually have to like try to make a play or like try to find a gap, they never make the right decision, and it usually just leads to them losing the round.
If there's no kill to trade, if there's no red dot to chase, they are lost on the map. And the fact that red dot chasing is one of your only options is terrible whenever you're in those clutch situations. So LAG grind out another victory. They were 0-3 before the change, and now they're 2-3. So definitely big ups to the change that they made, and finally getting some wins on the board.
Yeah.
Getting into the next match of Saturday here, we had Toronto Ultra versus Carolina Royal Ravens. This was a pretty good showing out of Ultra, winning 3-1, dropping a round 11 control or S&D map 2, and that was a 5-2 comeback for the side of the Royal Ravens on Karachi. And the biggest takeaway from this is the Dylan Envoy finally showing some signs of life. He drops a 1.3 overall in the series with a 1.37 map 1 hard point and 124 map 4 hard point. So finally, out of the last 15 hard point maps, he finally goes positive in back to back and helps his team get the dub. It was just no one played well on the side of Carolina. They were able to scrape that round 11 victory map 2, but overall it was pretty well handled by the side of Toronto.
Yeah, I mean, this is about what we'd expect. S&D would be the only game that Ravens should take off of Ultra if they did take one. So, and it was a chippy round 11 game. So
makes sense.
Yeah, nothing to see here.
Nothing to see here. Only thing I'll say is that for them to win another major, they're going to need Insight to step it up.
Yeah,
dropping 0.7s and just
20
getting
-20.
They said it well on the flank. I think it might have been Haggy that said it, but on smaller maps, higher engagement maps, he gets exposed for his play style. So I definitely think on those maps he's going to have to adapt a little bit, and they could be a winning team. But getting into the last match of the Saturday, we had another map 5 for LA Thieves against the Rocker, and Minnesota actually end up taking it with a dominant 6-1 victory in the map 5 on 6-star. We're seeing a lot of 6-star S&D this weekend, which I fucking love. Just some highlights for the series. You got Standy dropping another 1.23 with 96 kills over the series. And obviously this was a reverse sweep for the side of Minnesota Rocker. So they were able to ice up map 5 word to accuracy and bring this home with honestly not even the best performances. It was a grueler. A lot of damage being dealt by both teams, and Minnesota take it out on top with the map 5 ice.
Yeah. So finally, LA Thieves did not have the ice, and they got handled pretty handily.
Still sitting at 3-1 though. Thieves are still looking in a good spot. This loss is a little bit questionable. I just think they ran out of gas for some reason. The map 1 hard point,
and Ghosty really wasn't doing what he's been doing all season this weekend. So
no, and it got worse as the series went on for him. The map 4 was a struggle. He went 15-22. They really just got smoked on that sub base. They averaged 132 points, or they got 132 points in that map 4. So wasn't really competitive at all. And he goes negative. So tough showing for the LA Thieves. Getting reverse swept and getting shit on in the map 5 sucks, let alone getting reverse swept. So Minnesota improved to 2-3, and LA Thieves still sitting somewhat comfortably around at 3-1. We've seen several occasions 3 and 4 getting winners bracket starts at the major. So I mean, you win one more if you're the Thieves, you're pretty much guaranteed winners.
So, I agree. I think the Thieves just had an off weekend, or at least an off series for this series. And I need the Rocker to do this again. I need them to beat another team that's up there, like maybe Vegas or Ravens. Better. Handle someone like that, 3-1 or better. And I agree. And I'll start to believe that this Rocker team could be one of those top 6 type of teams.
Yeah. And, you mentioned them, as an example, beating Vegas. But after this next series we're going to talk about, I don't know if beating Vegas is much of a feat anymore, because Vegas go down 3-0 to the Seattle Surge to start off our Sunday. Or was this on Sunday? Yeah, start off our Sunday. 3-0 from the side of Seattle Surge, and the respawns were not close. Unfortunately, it's looking like Purge was the glue to this team.
Yeah, I think,
was not expecting this.
After the first major, we were questioning why they hadn't dropped him. I thought maybe attached sees something in him that we don't, but then they dropped him. So I was like, maybe he didn't have that intangible thing that was so important. But it turns out maybe they shouldn't have dropped him. So
I think I do agree I find myself saying this very scarcely. I do agree with Aches in the fact that per maybe Purge had some of those intangibles that helped them win, but it wasn't so much that it was wrong to drop Purge. I just don't think that ASIM was the right pickup.
okay, yeah.
And obviously Geo had a really tough series. Looked like he wasn't shooting his gun at all that map.
36 kills, man.
Yeah, with barely 8K damage is rough there. But so you got to think you can't pin this one solely on ASIM, and it's not even really like generally his fault or that he's bad. It's just that it's just not it's not meshing well right now. And I'm not saying that they can't get to a point where they do look better. I think maybe a couple changes in terms of who prioritizes certain things on the map between him and maybe one of the Geo or Nero, because we know how Nero's going to play. And I feel like Nero, someone like Nero, Shotzi, Beezy, Kleenex, how to play off of them. Like I feel like
right.
you know what they're going to be doing at all time. They're going to be holding their left stick. So I feel like it should be easier to play off of them. But at the same time, we didn't really see Purge, playing corners or baiting or anything like that. So I'm not sure how ASIM can fit into this, better. But on the other side of things, Seattle looking really good right now.
Yeah,
to be
they
honest.
Are. No, yeah, they are.
Especially in S&D.
Yeah, for sure. And they seem to be vibing well as a team. I mean, they all seem to really be, hungry. Everyone has the same goal. They're all playing great. Selfless. 04 is looking great, especially in S&D, which is what everyone talked him up in. Yep. And 04 said himself, like, he had 4 offers after Major 2. And he said that Seattle by far was the only team that really seemed like they wanted to play with him, and their players were like, hungry to win, hungry to improve, and liked his game, seemed like they wanted him as a teammate, and it's showing. I mean, they seem to be vibing. The energy's crazy. Hook is screaming in the mic. His mic is like 10 decibels louder than everyone else's.
I've never heard him louder than this series.
Yeah, yeah.
He's continuously just getting more and more vocal. And 04 said something really interesting as well. He said like coming from challengers, pros are like, he pretty much said pros are pussies in S&D.
Yeah.
He said he can literally just run at them and take timings and make plays, like, because they're so scared. And that's crazy because you see what happens when one player does it and it's calculated versus you look at Boston, who tries to all 4 do it as a team and it looks kind of sporadic and it doesn't work. So there's an art to it, and he's in being a rookie coming in from challengers and exploiting that is, it speaks to his S&D prowess. So I definitely think, even though in a transitive way, he's, sort of taking the place of Illy in a sense. And I definitely think he stepped into that S&D stat as well.
Yeah. And it's even funnier that 04 as a rookie is out here on Twitter calling Sib little man.
Yeah. He really sunned
hey,
him.
little man, no one's stair glitching.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, so we had some GA drama as usual, but 04, he said he was 10 toes for his team, and I respect that.
Yeah. Anything else to add on that series? Seattle, Swift 3-0.
Yeah, Seattle, I think right now is our 5th.
Our 5?
Yeah.
Ooh, that's so weird saying that, bro.
It is weird.
2 weeks ago, we were on ass.
Yeah. I mean, it's a team that's always been good at search, and now they're good at respawns. So, like,
fuck. Yeah. Getting into our second match on Sunday, the boys in green take on the Miami Heretics. Optic take this one 3-0. That map 2 that they dropped was just an absolute choke job. They should have easily won the S&D.
It was just sloppy, like.
It was just bad.
It was an ugly.
It was ranked play. It was bad.
Yes, it was. That was a ranked play ending.
It was ranked play.
100%.
It was literally ranked play. But I mean, they're just continuing to test out this map pool and get reps so they can just beat Faze. This whole split for Optic has been test our maps, get ready for Faze. Literally, that's it. That is all it is. And so Miami don't look very good. Vickle drops 90 kills. He was definitely one of the only ones shooting back in the respawns and keeping them, somewhat competitive in the game there. But overall, I mean, Kenny had an absolute series today as well as Pred, but Kenny was just laying down
38 and
damage and
20 map
kills, man.
one. Whew.
Yeah, yeah. Had the medals under. He respected that gracefully, only getting 37 kills over 3 maps. Like, that was insane. But he
Gracefully.
ends. But look at the map 4. He drops 31.
Yeah, that's insane.
Imagine seeing his performances the first 3 maps and going on Prize Picks and betting map 4 under, and he drops 31. I'd be so
Oh,
mad.
dude, I
But
meant to say earlier, this is off topic now, but the Thieves series where Nasty was going crazy,
yeah.
Zuma bet is over, and he was 1 kill short.
Oh my gosh. In
Despite
that
dropping, he
series?
needed
Damn.
29 in control, and he dropped 28.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
so sad.
yeah.
Damn. Oh
I
well.
I tailed that bet.
Um, damn. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Optic, nothing really much to talk about here. Testing their map full, looked really sloppy on high res control, but they said in interviews and stuff that they know that was fucking terrible.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, it wasn't even like strat fixes. Like, it wasn't that strats weren't working. There's just the weirdest shit was happening.
Yeah.
The fucking fuel tanks exploding. Like, it was just troll. Like, it was just a crazy match, stupid match. So, Optic take that 3-1. Anything else to touch on that one?
Yeah, the end of map 2, like, it was just a shit show. Like, Kenny called in his streak. Dashy gets beat up somehow while the streak's in the air. And then Ken doesn't see Vickle in the corner by the crane
I don't know.
and tries
How
to
did we not?
plant.
How did they not kill him with the cruise? Like, how did you miss
Well,
the elevator?
Kenny said he wasn't trying to kill himself, too.
I guess,
Because
but like, you're
defense
gonna
wins the
win.
round. No, defense wins the round if they both die. And
Oh yeah, because
Miami's on D.
Shotzi died while he was in the
Dashy.
right when he called it in, or Dashy died right
Yeah.
when he called it in.
But another thing to note is Shotzi and Pred both ran out and got first blooded. I'm pretty sure Miami had 8 first bloods that game.
Yeah, they did the first 8 rounds. They won all 8 engagements, opening
Yeah,
engagements.
so Optic still has a lot to figure out on that map if we're letting Miami blood
Yeah,
us
do
like
some
that
shit.
and beat us in round 11. Like, oh man, and that's
Still,
the map that they're gonna have to beat
glass
Faze
half
on.
full. You get blooded the first 8 rounds in a row, and you win. 4 of them or something. It was 4-3 at one point.
Yeah,
So I
that's
mean,
true.
you got to feel good about that. But at the same time, you can't put yourself in that position and,
Yeah.
and consistently win searches. So,
Yeah.
getting into the last match of the day, which I think is a very interesting one, kind of. We had Atlanta Faze going up against the New York Subliners. Faze take this 3-1 very convincingly, losing a round 11 search map 2, but the other maps were just not fucking close.
Yeah.
250 to 100, 3-0, 250 to 150. Was not close. That boy Draza is shitting right now. They said it best on the flank. Whenever your teammates are Abizi, Celium, and Simp, and you're standing out, you're frying.
Yeah.
Like, you are on one. Sky is the only one positive, and 04 was right. He's told Sib, stop costing your team, little man, and he drops a .73 stinker in the loss. So
49.
tough showing out of Sib. Yeah, 49 kills, least worst KD. Wasn't the least amount of damage, but still, tough scenes for New York as they continue to struggle. They're 1-3 on the split. Honestly, it's just Faze masterclass. I don't have anything else to say. I kind of just want to see who else that they play.
Yeah, I think New
As
York
in,
is just so deep in their heads, bro. Just
So
about everything.
New York plays Miami, Vegas, Toronto.
So they're gonna finish 2 and, or they're
They-
gonna finish 3 and
They're gonna finish
4?
3-4. Yeah, unless if they beat Toronto, then they finish 4-3. So depending on how many other teams go 3-4, right? We could see them in the losers bracket if they
No.
do.
Better yet, we could see them playing Toronto or a top 4 team in round 1 of winners.
That is true.
Oh shit. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that would be crazy. Which is weird because if that, yeah, you're right. Actually, they'd be facing a top 4 seed, so they could, but also then again they could match up against the 4th seed and play. I guess that would be
Seattle.
Seattle. Yeah.
Man.
which would also be interesting. Get to see that team on land up against New York first match. That would be cool. Um,
But
but
yeah,
yeah,
FaZe needs to be. They need to be humbled, bro.
they need to be humbled
Like
bad. They
someone
were
needs
shooting
to
bodies
beat
every
them,
chance they
bro.
could.
With every series they win, their confidence just grows higher and higher, bro. Like
Yeah,
they
it's not
are
looking good.
dominating right now. And they've been looking for that AR for the last 3 seasons, since RCDs, and they dropped RC, or they tried RCDs again, dropped them after they didn't win in Vanguard, picked up Slasher, dropped him, and now they're on draws, and it looks like they found their guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Enemies
Um,
to friends to partners in crime now, bro. They're just violating the whole league at this point.
yeah, and someone needs to put them in their place. But that's going to do it for Call of Duty there. It was a good weekend. We had some interesting matchups and some interesting outcomes in some cases, mostly from the side of LAG and Seattle, and a poor showing out of New York. So everything else was pretty much as expected with a few different changes. But with that, we're going to be talking some Rocket League. Dak, take it away.
All right, so moving on to Rocket League. This was our first North American regional of the new split, and it went about as expected. So just hopping into Swiss here. I mean, obviously G2 3-0, only dropped one map to SSG, which is the third best team in NA right now. We'll get to them. The big shocker was the Snowmen. So if you guys know the Snowmen, it's Frosty, Scribbles, and Reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know Scribbles because Reddles used to like have him in some videos. He was like 13 at the time, which was like maybe a year or two ago. So he's probably 14 or 15 right now. Young God, like always top 50, top 100 on the leaderboards and ranked. And he's like an NA prodigy. And him and his team go 3-0 in Swiss. They beat TSM, who's a solid team that's kind of on the cusp of making the top 8 every regional. They beat I'm gonna mess this up. Nether Canada.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing that's a
Which,
mix of Netherlands, America, and Canada.
yeah, and we'll get to them. But that's a team that most teams in here should beat. And then Gen G, which is crazy. They beat Gen G 3-2 in Swiss. So shout out to
Banger.
Snowmen. They made Saturday immediately.
Yeah.
Justin and Shopify Rebellion were back in the top 4 in Swiss. They went
All known teams
3-1.
here.
Yeah, they only lost to SSG, who, like I said, third best team. So solid showing from them. This is Pirates on a Boat now, by the way. Moist is Pirates on a Boat. So that's a solid win to 3-0 them. Solid. Cloud9 is Omelet, another solid team. So good wins from them. OG went 3-1, which is insane. They beat Deleted XD, which is a team that they should beat. Lost to M80. Beat Reddles, which we'll get to them, bro. That was a rough weekend from them. And then beat Gen G. So Gen G went all the way to map 5 this time. Or all the way to game 5.
Game 5, yeah.
Yeah. So SSG, the only match they lost was G2. They had a solid run. Again, they had a tough Swiss run, but they handled it. 3-2 Rebellion, 3-0 NRG, 3-1 M80. Solid out of them.
Mm-hmm.
Gen G's only wins were against Cheers, Moist, and Reddles. All of them, no, 2 of them 3-0s, only dropped a map to Cheers. The first game of the day. We're not even going to count that. Lost in match 5 both times. Gen G's they're our second best team, but they always make Swiss interesting. I don't know why they drop Swiss series, but once they get in the bracket, they clutch up. And then Omelet or Cloud9 now, and M80 were the last 2 teams to round it out. You're noticing our major team, Luminosity, was all the way at 11th. They dropped 0-3 to Nether Canada, which is insane. I mean,
yeah, that is.
They have Taroko. Who is on this team? Yeah, Daunt, Taroko, and Justice. So, known players. Taroko's been a pro for a while. But they shouldn't be 3-0 in Luminosity. So that was just oh boy, here we go. Luminosity kind of bounced back against TSM, but then got slammed by OG. Bounced back against Pirates. Slammed by Gen G to finish the day. You got to play Gen G. And they're making the bracket. So, yeah, tough showing out of them. But plenty of time to bounce back. But let's just hop into the bracket here. So
Absolutely. Oh
so
shit.
first game, we had G2. They dominated M80. M80's supposed to be a team that could make a major. It's AJ, Nas, and Jories. They're all really good, but they didn't really play well this weekend. And AJ's been tweeting a lot that like he's more motivated than ever. So this was probably really disappointing.
Yeah.
And it just sucks that they had to play G2 first, but they only scored 1 goal in 4 games.
Yikes.
Yeah. So that was just pure domination. M80 falls top 8. SSG dominated OG, which we saw coming. I don't think OG makes another major. They just seem to be up and down, and they can't beat many teams that are in the top 4 to 6. So
Right.
if this were COD, they probably would have made a team change by now, but team changes don't really happen that frequently in Rocket League. So
Ebb and flow.
Yep, ebb and flow. Next we had the Snowmen taking on Cloud9, which they probably had the best matchup. Omelette
Yeah,
is
that's
a
a good
team
first round.
that's pretty much about where the Snowmen are in the standings last time. So this was a good matchup for them. And the first game went to 7.5-minute overtime.
We were
But
watching
then,
this.
yeah, and then the Snowmen clutched up and just pretty much put it on them the rest of the game. They had really good defense, only let up 1 goal in 2 out of the next 4 games. So
Nice.
shout out to the young gods. They make a top 4 and a Sunday for the first time in their career. And then Gen G 4-0 Shopify. Get out of here. Moving
Not
on.
even close.
I mean, look at this.
Later.
They're just putting shots in, bro. 5-2,
5-2,
2-1, 3-1, 3-0. Like they're just
They're
dominant.
shelling.
Dominant. Yeah. I don't know why Gen G always has a weird Swiss, but whenever they get to the bracket, they just start dominating.
They show up.
Yep. So moving on to Sunday, SSG versus G2. 7-game series, bro. Hell of a series. This is the series that got me excited for SSG. Our hopes were high for them this season. We didn't get to see much of them last split because they ran into G2 and Gen G first in the bracket every regional, or something like that. It might have been 2 out of the 3, but they got bracket screwed at the regional.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's fun to see them finally make a top 4, finally make a Sunday, and they took G2 all the way down to the wire. I mean, it's 1-0 on game 7. So that was fun, but G2 move on to grand finals, and I'm excited for SSG. I think they're only getting better, and they could definitely make a grand finals at the next regional or regional 3, and they should be in the major this go round.
Good. Love to see NA get spicier.
Yeah. Moving on to Gen G versus Snowmen, though. I honestly gave Snowmen no chance in this series because it's a top 4 match, and they're also new and young, but they came out firing. Yeah, they went up 2-0. But Gen G called a timeout after they were down 2-0, made some adjustments, and then the rest of the series.
Timeout cheese did not favor Snowmen on the bounce back, though.
No, it did not. I wonder what they even talked about, bro.
They're just like, all right, we're timeout cheesing them. We'll win the next 2 maps and win the series.
Yeah,
and
but
it didn't happen.
Dude, Gen G, they just clutched up, and Chronic is so good, bro. Like, I feel like everyone just says like Appjack and First Killer because they're like known names, and they are really, really good and score most of the goals. But Chronic is like usually the third man, and like he always keeps pressure on, and he can do like insane shit if he needs to. So they're scary, bro. And they've beaten G2 their last 2 times in the grand finals. So
hell yeah.
Yeah, Gen G's only getting better. But yeah, shout out the Snowmen, young gods. We'll see if they can do this again. But personally, I think it was just a really good weekend, and we need to see some of these other teams that have been there step up, and they might fizzle out next regional, but we'll see, bro. They looked really good this weekend. So we'll see. But grand finals, once again, 7-game series. Hell of a series. It came down to overtime, and Beast Mode and Atomic double committed. Beast Mode bumped Atomic downfield, and it gave Jack an open shot. And yeah, that was it. That was it. It was kind of
3 overtimes.
Yeah, kind of a panicky, like, oh shit, we don't have boost. They're pushing type of play from G2, and it's probably something that they wish they could get back.
Yeah.
But I mean, these are by far the best two teams in the region, and they showed it. And Gen G kind of has G2's number, but again, it was that close. I mean, one mistake costed them the whole series. Or it didn't cost them the whole series, but like it can come down to that moment. So they're both really close. They're neck and neck. G2's coach was talking about kind of how they need to stay serious against a lot of these other teams because they're not on the same level that these teams at LAN were. Because, you know, Europe has like 4 or 5 teams that are probably better than everyone except G2 and Gen G.
Right. Yeah.
So, you know, G2's coach was just talking about trying to stay serious against some of these teams that they're just way better than. And like, it's kind of hard. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting how these teams stack up next major, but I think either one of them could definitely make a run next major.
So how many more of these until major?
2 more. So in 2 weeks, Regional 2 happens. So this weekend, the qualifiers for that happens. And then the following weekend, Regional 2. And then Regional 3 is 2 weeks after that. And then the major will be sometime in the summer.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, takeaways, G2 and Gen G are top dogs. SSG is crawling up the ladder though. Great showing from the young gods at Snowmen. LG, absolutely horrendous this weekend. And the 4th spot for the majors wide open.
Bet. Well, looking forward
That's
to some
NA
more
Rocket League.
NA bangouts. To end our episode here, guys, we're going to get into our interview with our gamer friend, Mason, a.k.a. Hippo Dinosaur. Let's get right into it.
Alrighty, welcome back, everybody. I'm really excited to announce we've got a special guest this week. 2nd guest ever on the podcast. He's a former COD god, current Overwatch grinder, longtime gamer, my good friend Mason, Hippo Dinosaur Mercer. Give it up for Mason. What's up, bro?
Dino.
Yes,
Hippo
sir.
Dino.
Yes, sir. Welcome to the pod, Mason. I'm glad you're here. It's been a long time coming. You were definitely on our list of, you know, gamer friends that would be fun to have on the pod. So glad you're here, bro. So just to start out, just to kind of give everyone an idea of who you are, tell us about yourself. I want to go through your gaming journey. So when was your first time ever picking up a controller? Like, can you think of the very first experience you've ever had gaming?
It probably had to be some of my dad's old consoles, man. When I was growing up, my dad had an old like Sega Genesis, and he had like one other really old console. I can't even remember what it's called, but I played some old games like early, like Mortal Kombat 2.
Oh, dang.
Bunch of Sonic games. Some
So
old games, but I didn't play them that much because I was too young. I only got those when
Yeah.
I could sneak them, you know?
Or you know a game's old when you played 2 so long ago and they've made another one already.
Yeah,
Like,
they've
there's a new
rebooted.
Mortal Kombat 1. Like they hit the reboot. That's how you know you've been in it for
I
long.
had to reboot the franchise.
Yeah. So that's crazy. So your dad was like into gaming already?
He wasn't. I wouldn't say he was into gaming.
He just had a
but
console?
He had a couple consoles, and you know, he played them here and there. I don't
Okay.
remember him playing.
They
ever
were cheaper
really
back
with me
then
as a
too.
kid.
It wasn't
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, it wasn't as I can even like sweaty.
Yeah.
Right?
I got my
Like, it was
dad to
just
play
like-
Call of Duty with me once, and I smoked him and ran out of bullets and killed him with my knife like so many times. He just never played any games with me again.
Wow. So
What games would he play?
yeah.
The first game I remember playing with him was Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, like the OG.
Oh.
Mm.
Okay. So
That
we're
was me
talking like
begging him to
360.
play games. He always, he nowadays he just be playing Facebook games, like
Yeah.
He's playing
Blitz.
Farmville.
yeah.
So after, you know, you were young playing the Sega Genesis, like when was like the age where you got your first console where like this is my
Yeah.
console? Like
I got a PS2 for my first console. I had a Game Boy Advance a little bit before the
Okay.
PS2, but my grandma got that for me for Christmas and love her to death. But she got me a TV show cartridge with like 2 episodes of Ninja Turtles on it and not a game, so I couldn't even game on it for the longest time.
dude, I didn't even know they had those
I
on
didn't-
Game Boy.
Wait,
What the
yeah,
heck?
What? That's the first
Dude.
I've heard of it.
I leave it to my grandma to find it. I
Yeah.
guess. But
That's so
after
funny,
that, I got
bro.
the PS2. I was real into like the Sly Cooper series, Ty the
Oh,
Tasmanian Tiger.
Okay. Dude, I used to play
Spyro?
Ty the
A little bit
Tasmanian
of
Tiger.
Spyro. I played Spyro on my Game Boy actually more than I played it
Spyro
on my
was heat.
PlayStation.
So you kind of had
I
the
like
same
Spyro.
path as Blake. Didn't you have a Game Boy into PS2, Blake?
Yes, yeah. And I don't know what timeline, I don't know what years like the DS and
Mm-hmm.
3DS and that shit were, but like I had the PSP, all the
Yeah.
handhelds I had
Right.
like but I don't know when that was. But yeah, first console was PS2. Played on the neighbor's N64, but like it wasn't mine.
Yeah.
But PS2 was my first, playing like the old NCAAs,
Yeah.
um and like the campaign of a bunch of shit because
Yeah.
I didn't play online,
Yeah. See, I was an Xbox
obviously.
kid my whole life, pretty much.
Couldn't
I
Except
did
for
get a
the
360
Me
after
too.
the
yeah,
PS2.
yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a Wii?
I did have a Wii. The Wii was in the living room.
Yeah,
Man. It
there
was
was
like
like the
a
family Wii.
like Wii Sports or
Yeah.
Mario Kart, whatever, with the Wii in the
Yeah.
family.
See, my dad was never a gamer, but he would play like Wii Play, I think. Was that the
Yeah.
Wii
I
Play?
remember that
And there
one.
was the duck shooting game. He
Did he have
for
the gun
whatever
remote?
reason, yeah, we had that, and for whatever reason my dad loved that game. But
My favorite game was the tank shooting one on that one.
yes, bro. That
Oh, I
one
remember
was
that
fun.
one. Dude, I did the Nerf game on that, and you used the gun thing. It was fun as
I had
hell, bro.
the Nerf Wii blaster.
Yes, bro. It was
That's so
so
funny.
fun.
Yeah, dude, the Wii was lit. I feel like everyone had a Wii at some point. Like
I
it
played
was either the
COD
family
on the
Wii
Wii.
or yeah, I had COD
played
3.
World
Hot
at
on the
War.
Wii.
No way, dude.
Yeah, and I had the little gun thing, and it was hard as hell. I
Yeah.
played like one mission and never played it again. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Wow. I bet the game wasn't even the same on Wii. They
No.
like made a special knockoff Wii version.
It was bad. That was terrible.
Okay. So then after that, were you into the 360, Mason, and that like started the Xbox Live years?
Yeah. My first Call of Duty, I played Call of Duty 4, like I said, a little bit, but my 1st
Mhm.
Call of Duty that I got into was MW2, man.
Yeah.
And I was straight up noob, like never
Mhm.
prestige in my life in Call of Duty before MW2. And that game I took all the way to 10th Prestige 70 without getting into a modded lobby or paying no
Nice.
one 1,600 Microsoft points.
Yeah. So back in those days, like, were you into sniping and like quick scoping and all that stuff too?
Yeah, man. I was actually in a trick shot clan for a minute. I played
Okay.
Claw, you know.
Damn.
Dang, you
My
were
clan
clawing
did
that
have
young?
a cup. Dude, yeah. I hit like some crazy
Yeah.
shots low key for back in the day, but I was a squeaker in a clan that no one really heard of, and we were just hitting shots for fun in private matches for
Right.
the most part. Because that was still acceptable back in, early MW2
Mhm.
days. You didn't have to be in a live lobby. It could be
Yeah.
a private match shot. And if it was crazy enough, people would still like
Yeah.
Yes, it.
say
Yeah.
that's valid.
God, dude, what a time, bro. Just anything back then was new to us. Like,
I remember
Yeah.
setting up the trick shot, and it was still like tolerable. Like you're 1v1ing, you're like, okay, go stand by the crate. You jump off top, rust, and you 360 silent shot, and you're like, oh wait.
yeah. That's so
I hit
funny.
one of my craziest shots on one of my buddies setting up at the ladder on terminal. I remember that shot still.
That's hilarious. Yeah, honestly, I was never into like trick shotting, but we would always run the ones on Rust trying to do like quick scope
Oh, yeah.
battles. So,
Mhm.
For sure.
yeah. But yeah, bro, those days were crazy. And so back in those days, like, were you playing with random people in this clan, or were these like your friends from real life?
No, they were just randoms, man.
Were there like grown ass
that
men
I
in
met
here?
Online. Probably.
Yeah.
I didn't talk to even everyone in my clan. I was just like kind of a extra when they had room in the lobby that knew what he was doing a little bit. So
Yeah.
they let
Yeah,
me try.
bro. It's so funny how back in those days it seemed like everyone just like played with random people they met, no matter what age you were. Like I was in sniper clans where like we had grown ass men and I'm just like the only squeaker in the lobby, and like no one ever really said anything about it.
I feel like
it
the
was so
culture's
funny.
changed a lot since then, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah.
back in the day,
Oh, yeah.
if you met someone in a lobby and he just shit on you bad, you were like
Yeah.
trying to get on that guy's friends list, play with him, learn from him a little bit. Nowadays, you get in a Call of Duty lobby, someone shits on you,
Accusations.
you're just running your mouth at each other the
Yeah.
whole time, bro.
Yeah.
and
yeah,
you
like
probably
you
think
said,
they're hacking. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So yeah, times have changed. So COD was your main game. Was that just
Mhm.
going forward for the next like 5 years? Because we're talking like COD Golden Age now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't put down Call of Duty during Black Ops 1, Black Ops
Mhm.
2, all the way up to really, I kept playing through Black Ops 4, which
Yeah.
you know this. I went crazy on Black Ops 4.
Yeah. And we'll get
I
into
peaked
that.
number, I think, 32 on the leaderboards.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's
and
insane.
then MW 2019 came out, and I just like did not like playing it as much. I couldn't get myself to grind that game like I grinded Black Ops 4. Maybe it was
Yeah.
just me
Yeah.
burning myself out on COD for going so
No.
hard for like a
No.
year.
It was a shit game.
But
I don't blame you.
yeah,
There's
I
nothing
just
to
dropped
grind
Call
for
of
in
Duty
that
after
game. and it just wasn't aesthetically pleasing. Like even if there wasn't anything to grind for, it's not even fun to look at while you're playing that game.
I still have nightmares about the 725, bro. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh,
my
God,
God.
dude.
I forgot about that. That thing was terrorizing.
Dude, that
fucking-
ruined pubs for like the first
Oh yeah,
however
first,
many
like,
months.
3 weeks
Yeah.
or so. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
dude, that
That's
was
at
that's
least.
why I
horrendous.
quit playing that game. Honestly,
Yeah.
it's
It was
that
insane.
good.
Just cross mapping off spawn.
Yeah.
Dude's
One
just
shot.
ratted up in a corner in a public hard point.
They
And
threw
the
a
corners were
3x
so
on it.
far.
7.5 or whatever. Yeah, what is
lighting,
this,
everything was
rainbow?
bad in that game.
Yeah, bro.
Everything was bad.
So that's what did it though. Like, is it the same way with all the new CODs after that too? Just the engine switch and like kind of where COD's at now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's been getting slowly better, I think. Like I don't think any Call of Duty that's come out in the last few years is nearly as bad as MW 2019 was.
Mhm.
Like Cold War was even fun.
Yeah.
But
We're fucked.
At that point, after a couple years of kind of below average CODs, I kind of switched my passion to like Overwatch and Rocket
Mhm.
League and started expanding outside the Call of Duty franchise just because
Yeah.
I started getting tired of it.
Yeah, no, we don't blame you here. Look, we love COD just because we watch the pros and
Yeah.
have played it for so long, but we know we are very honest about where it's at.
Yeah.
Listen, I buy COD every year, man. I'm not
Yeah.
out of it yet.
Same, same.
If Call of Duty comes out with me, I'm
Uh,
like, damn, this is fun. I'll start
yeah.
playing again and maybe get back on my grind. But until then, I'm not gonna waste my time.
So,
Yeah.
so
Money wasted. Time?
yeah.
Maybe not.
Not as much.
So if you could give us like your 3 favorite CODs that you've grinded between MW2 and Black Ops 4. Like, what are we talking? MW2, BO2, Black Ops 4? Were you into BO2 like that?
Yeah, I was into I wasn't like nothing came close to what I did on Black Ops 4. I feel like that was really the culmination of my Call
Yeah.
of Duty career. But I definitely played a lot of Black Ops 2. I got to Prestige Master on that game. MW2 I got to put up there. Black Ops 4 obviously. I feel like if I had a Mount Rushmore of like 4, it's got to be MW2, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 4, and I don't know, man, maybe MW3.
Yeah,
I really like
That's a good shout.
MW3.
Yeah, MW3 was fun, bro.
Okay.
Looking back
Okay.
at it. I was watching Elliot play that recently on that modded thing or whatever. Not modded, but IW4X
yeah.
type of thing.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I was just getting all types of memories and nostalgia from that game, bro. Like there was so much that I had forgotten about, so many maps and guns that I'd forgotten about from MW3. Like that really was a good game.
Yeah, I think
Dual
mine's the
FMG9s.
same as yours, but instead of BO4, I'd have BO3. So
Yeah.
BO2, BO3, MW2, MW3 is probably my 4.
Okay, yeah. So you didn't name any jetpack games. Where do you stand with those games? Like those 3 years that we were in jetpacks.
Actually, other than Infinite Warfare, I actually enjoyed
It's
the Jetpack
one of the
games.
worst pub games
Yeah.
of all time.
yeah,
yeah,
IW
That game was
just blah.
horrific for pubs.
But Advanced Warfare, I really liked. I didn't get
Mhm.
like to max level on that one because they added they had the
There's
15
30
prestige,
total.
and they added another 15.
Yeah.
I got like 27th prestige by the time
Damn.
that game cycle
Damn,
ended.
son.
I was gassed about getting to I think I got 19th, and I was gassed about that.
That's
Yeah,
crazy.
I was smoking kids in that game though. I adapted to the movement really quickly, and I feel
Yeah, I
like
like
Yeah.
that
it
game
was
a lot.
Did
Yeah.
you
Smoking
did you
kids.
luck out and get the Obsidian Steed and like Speakeasy?
He's 27th prestige. There's no
Dude.
way you didn't have it.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't have it for a long time. I was definitely past 15th prestige when I got my
Damn.
Obsidian
Really?
Steed. I got the
Really?
Speakeasy, I think, in my 7th prestige, if I remember.
Bro, I'm not even kidding.
The
I
Which
fact
is
that
so
you
late.
remember that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Well, it's because it was such a
I know, it's
monumental
such a
moment, man.
moment.
Like, I just get shit on by these guns for like my entire career in this Call of Duty, and I open a box and finally get to be part of the club.
yeah. That's
So I
so
finally got
crazy
my
that a
Speakeasy.
meta weapon was locked behind a luck crate.
Yeah, and I mean there were a
Damn,
couple
man.
of guns that weren't trash, but
Yeah.
the Speakeasy and the Obsidian Speed were a step above the rest.
Yeah.
The HBR Insanity.
Yeah,
I
I did
love
have
that
that
one,
one.
yeah.
Dude,
Yeah, that was
that
dope.
thing was fire.
But
I think Nade Shot liked that gun a lot. That was like Nade Shot's
Oh
favorite.
no!
I remember him putting
Oh
that
no! No!
Nade Shot was an HBR enjoyer in that game. I remember that.
Oh
Nade,
yeah!
Nade pulled out an HBR in a
At COD
pivotal
Champs.
moment at COD Champs, and that was
And
not a meta
lost.
weapon, and they got slammed, and everyone just blames him for that moment from now on.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
Oh my god! The
that's
fact
so
that you
funny.
said that is comedy.
Yeah.
But to be fair, he was early because later in the game, when there was back in the day, whenever COD Champs was like in June or like August, whenever it was before, like quote unquote, like the end of the year,
Mm-hmm.
they would have more tournaments after that and stuff.
Yeah.
And they did every year back then after champs, they would make a crazy update, and they did the update, and the HBR became really good. And so in like all the S&D tourneys and stuff after that, that was the gun to use. So he
That's
was
so
early.
funny.
To be fair, he was early.
Never wrong, just early.
Yeah,
Ahead
never
of
wrong,
his
just
time,
early.
you could say.
That's
Yes.
hilarious. So, did you ever think about playing like competitive 4-on-4 at any point, or was COD just like, I'm trying to grind and get as high on the leaderboard as I possibly can?
I did think about playing competitively, and I did play some game battles in Advanced Warfare. Actually,
Mm-hmm.
I had a few friends that I met after playing a lot, and my main real like thing holding me back from playing competitively like that in a 4v4 scenario on game battles or any kind of tournament
Mm-hmm.
was the fact that I didn't have friends that I was comfortable like yeah, I could hang, but like where's 3 other dudes that I play with that I know can hang? There
Yeah.
weren't that many of them around
No.
for a
Yeah.
long time.
Not back then. Not
And I
Yeah.
would hate to like
I know Gage was good
pay
back
money to
then.
enter a tournament. Yeah. Gage was good,
Yeah.
but I got to a point where I kind of played with different friends online just because like I had my pub stomp squad, man.
Yeah, dude. I
And
don't
we were
blame you.
just
I mean, that
laying
high on the
down.
leaderboard, like, when did you realize, holy shit, I'm like top, 1,000, or like I'm getting up there to where like you can see me on the global leaderboard? Like, at what
Well,
point?
okay, so the thing about Black
Was
Ops
that
4
even
is
the
that
goal?
it wasn't really the goal. Really, Black Ops 4 came out at an interesting point in my life because I just dropped out of college
Mm-hmm.
and I was like just depressed, living at my parents' house, didn't have a job, didn't have shit going for me
Yeah.
except new Call of Duty that just came out.
Yeah.
And I
God's always
distinctively
there.
remember
back in the
it
day.
came out. I played for over 24 hours straight, like from the moment it released, and I was
Damn.
like one of the first people to prestige in the game. Me and my boy went crazy. We were just playing forever.
Yeah.
And after the first week, I was like already 4th prestige or something. And like the first week of the game, I'm like, dude, like
Damn.
I'm not seeing any one of my games that's like even close.
Yeah.
Maybe another 1st procedure every once in a while. And so I found I just kept playing. I was like, man, I'm like on top of the leaderboards early. I might as well keep grinding to stay here. And I did. I ended
Damn.
up hitting level 1000 Prestige Master the day before April Fool's Day. So like March 31st.
Damn.
The year after
So
that Call of
that's-
Duty came out. So it really took me like 5 months
Yeah,
or so,
5
6
month
months
grind. Damn.
to hit level 1000.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And
That
I
is
kept
crazy.
playing after that too.
Yeah.
What was your go-to specialist in that in BO4?
I was a crash guy because I was trying to grind score. That's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I
Yeah,
was on the
that's smart.
leaderboards, right? And so crash score went crazy. And
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
it always came in handy with I'm running a 6-stack
Mm-hmm.
pub stomping. Everybody always needed ammo because we'd all be dropping nuclears basically.
Yeah.
The whole
Yeah.
game.
And there's low-key a kind of a skill gap on that, because if you want to wait till all 5 of your teammates are up to get more score. Because
Yeah.
if someone's on respawn, you're not gonna crash them, and you won't get the XP for that.
Yeah, but sometimes like when Nuketown 24/7 came around, I'd rock the Purifier because I was only on
Mhm.
Nuketown.
Yeah.
Dude, the purifier,
Little
if you
radiation
even
blast.
if you even got touched by like a wisp of the flamethrower, you were dead in BO3 or
Do you
BO4.
remember the ability the Purifier guy had, and it was like he hunched over and like radiated heat.
Oh,
and it just
yes!
like,
Yeah,
Oh my
and you couldn't you
gosh.
move a little bit with that?
Yes, yeah,
you can
you're
move a little
slow.
bit. It's like
You're
a
like
slow
slow.
crouch walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my friends that I play with, he was the #1 player in Canada. He was part of my pub stomping squad.
Oh my
He had the
God.
world record for most kills with that ability. He got 13 kills with one use of the ability
Oh
in
my god.
Nuketown.
What the heck,
Holy
bro?
shit.
Because we had him spawn trapped, and they just kept spawning at the house where he was cranking that thing.
That's insane.
I forgot about that.
How
Yeah,
do you
that's
even
absurd.
how do you even find the #1 player in Canada? Was that just luck? You guys just happen to
Dude, I'm
join the
telling
same
you, when
lobby?
you play enough games, you just like start recognizing
You
the
meet
top players.
everyone.
And,
Mason
yeah,
knew everyone.
all the top players were all playing like a bunch of Call of Duty, so it was really only a matter of time before we started running into each other
Right.
and adding each other. So by the end of the game, I had like, several top 50 accounts that were right there next to me on the leaderboards all added, and we would just like 6-stack it up, and people wouldn't really stand a chance.
Damn.
Oh my god.
It's
That's
kind of
weird.
ugly.
Dog, I would be so pissed if I ran into that. If me and Blake are just queuing up and we're like, all right, man, let's have some fun. We get a 6-stack of like top 30 players in pubs.
I'm trying to fucking chill. It's just
That's
I
so
Makes me
remember
on
funny.
the other
one
team.
moment was when the Chaos playlist came out, where they had like Chaos Hardpoint, Chaos
Mhm.
Control. Uh,
What was
my
that?
stack. It was like they all had crazy rule sets. Hardpoint didn't have a set rotation on the hills,
Oh,
and
okay.
it went first to 1,000 instead of first to 250.
Damn.
Oh, I do remember that now. I
And
do
so
remember
me and
that.
my friends, we challenged ourselves to go like 1,000 to 0 against a team in a random hill rotation hardpoint, and we got it in the first day we were trying.
Oh my gosh. That's
Dog,
ridiculous.
that's insane. Wow. Okay. So at what point in the year of BO4 did you stop playing? Like, were you playing all the way until MW came out?
I slowed down a little bit after I hit level 1,000. I still kept playing a lot because I wanted to stay on the leaderboards. It wasn't
Mhm.
even a native leaderboard, but it was like one of those third-party websites you can go to that did like the data scraping or
Oh
whatever, and
yeah.
like they had their leaderboards up. And so I always paid attention to that and made sure I kind of stayed up there. But
Yeah.
once you get up there, man, like there's a bunch of people that kind of stagnate, and like
Mhm. That's kind of how
it's
the
really
top
not that competitive
250.
once you get there. Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of how top 250 is in ranked. I feel like
Yeah.
Blake.
Yeah,
Like you'll
for
have
sure.
like the top, however many people, and like they're all like 6,000 elo above the next,
Yeah, like 15. Yeah.
15, and they're all high too. So like no one's catching them.
It's just a playtime thing, yeah.
So BO4 ends. A couple years go by, and PC time. It's time to upgrade from the Xbox to
Mm-hmm.
the PC. What made that decision? Was it just because next gen consoles were coming, and you were like, all right, it's time to start looking into
It's
this? Or?
because, well, at this point, I was pretty like my main game at this point was Overwatch, which
Mm-hmm.
while it's on console, it is not like a main console game. When I was playing Call of Duty, I didn't really have a problem being on console because Call of Duty is a console game. People play
Right.
controller, like that's just the platform people played on. But as an Overwatch player, I was kind of feel like I wasn't getting like the full game being
Mm-hmm.
locked in on a controller, especially as a Genji main.
Yeah.
But like playing Genji on a
Yeah.
controller is just like silly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
So
think the deal I made with my parents was they split the bill with me on it.
okay. And were you playing Overwatch from launch on Xbox?
Yeah, I played a season. I haven't missed a single season of Overwatch since season 1 of Overwatch release, Overwatch 1.
Damn.
Damn.
I
So
did
That's
not know
actually
that.
crazy.
that actually did come out, I think, during Black Ops 4. And I
Yeah.
wasn't really grinding the first few seasons, but I definitely played them.
Damn.
Yeah, it was
And I started grinding later after Call of Duty 2019 dropped, and I decided I wasn't as much a fan.
Yeah.
I said, all right, let's pivot back into some Overwatch, and I started focusing that a little more.
Hell yeah. So you get the PC, you've played Overwatch for a few years. Was it like how was the transition coming over to PC now, which is like the main Overwatch console?
Pretty
And
rough.
there's
Keyboard.
people on mouse and key, which have you ever
Yeah.
had experience prior to that really in a shooter,
Not-
competitive shooter?
Not really, man. I played like maybe 15 hours of CS:GO on my MacBook with half of that being on trackpad, like no cap.
Yeah.
So my mouse and keyboard experience was minimal. I grew up, I played a little bit of Wizard 101 on like the family
Nice.
computer, but like nothing really was
Yeah,
like
that ain't helping your
mechanically
aim.
challenging me. And
Yeah.
so mouse and keyboard when I finally built my PC was a brand new thing to me.
Okay.
It really made me mad because I had all this experience on console, like I knew how the game worked
Mm-hmm.
in theory, but I couldn't get my fingers to do what my brain knew I wanted my fingers to
Right.
do for so long. And that was a really frustrating thing to get over. But I
Yeah.
mean, everyone has that experience of having to learn new mechanics, I guess, when they switch
Right.
systems.
Right. Yeah, no, it took me a cool 300-400 hours on Valorant to get used to like just using mouse and key in general, because that was my first
Yeah.
game ever playing mouse and key on.
Same.
Yeah, I feel like, do you think Overwatch is the best game for like aim training and like translation into other games? Because I do. Every time I play Overwatch and go play
maybe.
Val, I feel like I'm frying.
I feel like it's either Overwatch or Apex.
Yeah, Apex
Yeah.
would be good
I
too.
see a lot of Apex mouse and key players transition well across games.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the crazy movement
Right.
combined with the precision like gunplay that's
Yeah.
required.
And it
Like,
also depends on the character, I guess.
Yeah, like no other game has people like flying around above your head and stuff like
Yeah.
that you gotta hit.
Yeah,
It's
and
really a big change.
like trying to snipe a Lucio out of the air is one of the hardest things to do
Yeah,
in gaming.
people
I feel
are
like
going fast. I
Yeah.
don't know. You should see some Widowmakers. Like some Widowmaker players have some of the most incredible aim I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
And I don't
Oh,
know, maybe it's the new projectile update, but I feel like these last few months I've just been getting slammed by people that are like supposedly average or
yeah.
like slightly above average. You know, I'm at Elo, I'm high diamond.
Yeah, I've seen some freaky Widow clips on TikTok, and I don't even know how someone processes like what's going on. But I'm curious because Overwatch. I'm assuming it's like the first game of its kind, like when it came out. Like, was there any
Yeah.
other 6v6 like role based competitive shooter? I don't think so. Not that I had heard of.
There was a what was that game? There was Heroes of the Storm,
Okay, I have
and
heard of that game, but I didn't know what it was.
there was one other game. I didn't play it, but it was a game that was like basically Overwatch before Overwatch came out.
So
But it
they
wasn't
they
nearly
probably
as
got
like
some
polished.
inspiration from somewhere, but
Yeah, they did. And I'm pretty sure it was another Blizzard game too. It was just like an older
oh,
Blizzard game.
okay. So they're just taking old ideas and making them new.
Yeah, it was definitely new though. They changed a lot. It was just like a hero based shooter. It was basically
Okay.
all they stole.
Well, my point is like it was fairly new, and like to me as a casual Overwatch player, like it's just original and fun, and like I love the game. But it seems like the people that have been playing for all these years do not feel the same. And
Mm,
it was like the most disliked. Overwatch 2 was the most disliked game ever on Steam at some point.
yeah.
And I'm just curious from your perspective, like what's the community's standpoint on Overwatch, and how do you feel about the current state of Overwatch right now?
So it's hard. Obviously, Overwatch and I have had a bumpy path, you could say, as a season one Overwatch 1 player.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing they messed up is with the whole everyone's heard about the Activision Blizzard scandal in the office of
Yeah.
like sexual assault, yada yada yada, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And that really like the dev team kind of got destroyed with that scandal. And that was their first major bump in the road.
Mm.
The second bump of the road was uh PvE. The whole dev team they had dedicated to PvE basically vanished after that. So they had this promise of Overwatch 2 PvE, but no team that could really realistically make it happen. And
Interesting.
they for too long they dropped Overwatch 1 support. There wasn't an update, there wasn't a map pool change, there wasn't a new hero, there wasn't anything in Overwatch 1 for the last, I want to say like close to 3 years of
Yeah.
Overwatch 1.
So
Oh,
that was when
damn.
I downloaded it.
Because and that was all because this dev team is really focused on making Overwatch 2 PvE happen, and we want it
Oh.
to be exactly what it should be. And so you flash forward to Overwatch 2 release. Sorry guys, PvE just isn't going to happen, is what they tell us.
Oh man.
And so I wasn't mad at them for, going back on their promise or whatever. I was mad at them because we just wasted 3 years
Yeah.
and all we had to show for it was really -1 tank and like a new hero and some balance changes.
God, dude.
That's why
Yeah.
the Overwatch community was really mad.
Yeah.
Now the new dev team since Overwatch 2 was dropped, I feel like is pretty good. I think they're officially on team 4 or 5.
Wow.
They've been through a lot of dev teams. That's another reason I like to try and cut Overwatch some slack is because they've had a bunch of devs working on it and
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of a mess.
Yeah.
But the most recent team I think has been making pretty good strides. And while the game isn't where I would like it to be yet, there's still some problems with like the tank role in
Mm-hmm.
particular. Balancing could be better, but I think this team has a better grasp on it than any of the other teams have so far. And while it's not perfect yet, I'm optimistic for the future.
Okay.
Good.
And do you think like how many people are playing Overwatch today? Like are a lot of people still on the game, or is it kind of dead compared to where it's been in the last like 2 years? Like
I think it's still healthy. I think I've seen personally. I've had a bunch of my like own friends picking up the game within the last month
mm-hmm.
for like the first time ever, or like a very long time. I've really tried to get my friends to give Overwatch a second try ever since the projectile change.
Mm-hmm.
Where they made everyone's shots basically bigger. Like in the game, so it's easier to hit your shots. It took out a little bit of that mechanical setback that there
Right.
is, because of someone trying a new game that's just like really hard.
Yeah.
It's a little easier to hit your
Is
shots
that
now.
is that what I've been seeing of like people like going crazy in terms of like super surprised, or the other end that's like can't believe the direction we're heading, of like people in the range like shooting at the targets like over here and it's hitting them in
Oh
the
yeah.
head? Is that what that update is?
As
They're
part of that,
shooting,
yeah,
or
yeah.
is that partly okay? Gotcha.
That is what affected it. Like the one you probably saw was Mercy Blaster,
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think
which
so.
is
Yeah.
which before that update was already busted on the projectile size.
Yeah.
And then they increased the size of everyone's projectile again, including Mercy's blaster. So now Mercy just shoots like trucks
Dude, that's insane.
that are hard to miss.
That's insane.
I personally think that's because Mercy players might be lacking the most mechanics out of any player in the game. But
Yeah.
that's not to say Mercy's an easy hero. Mercy has her things that are hard to do, but aiming is not one of the things you
Yeah.
need to do on Mercy.
Clearly.
Man.
Even when you pull out her blaster.
Yeah, I may have to re-download the game then if it's shooter friendly. Nah.
Yeah,
It's definitely
same.
a lot easier than it was.
Okay.
I'd play it.
Okay. So I feel like Overwatch is kind of in the same place like Rocket League is. Like there's still a community. People are still in the game, but like is anything coming that's gonna drive in like a new spike of people coming in? Because Rocket League has nothing on the horizon right
I don't
now.
know, man. There's been a few cool like collabs that Overwatch has done. Like they did one with a K-pop group. They did a couple anime collabs with One Punch Man and Cowboy Bebop.
Oh
That's
yeah,
right.
I saw that.
There's a new game mode coming out soon, but like these are all things that are like kind of interesting to current players. I wouldn't say there's anything like bringing new players in.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. I may have to re-download Overwatch then, because we've been playing, Rainbow, and I pretty much downloaded everything at this point, all the old games. So Overwatch is next. I always keep that in the back pocket. But
Hey,
speaking of Overwatch, I want to see how good you are at guessing ranks. So before you go,
We're testing ball knowledge.
yeah, we're gonna test some ball knowledge. Let's play Overwatch Ranked. So I'll share my screen in Discord. Me and Blake will give our guesses first, and then you can tell us if you think we're off. Tell us your guess, and we'll see what the answer is. All right, can y'all see this?
Yeah.
Yep.
All
The
right.
quality gets better like 5 seconds in.
All right,
this
let's
is
get.
an old clip.
We got Ana. Okay, we're with him. We got music playing.
I'm locked. I'm not gonna lie. I'm locked in.
Okay. I got
All
my
right.
answer, man.
I
I'm
think
thinking
Before you guys
gold.
put in your guesses, I'm pretty sure this is a console clip. So
Okay, that doesn't really change it. I'm still thinking
Is
gold.
is it crossplay in ranked?
it is only crossplay and unranked, like quick play.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So they're
So they
placing
have-
other
they have different
console players.
schools,
So their ranks can be inflated, is what you're saying.
perhaps.
Okay, Plat.
And if
Okay.
if the movement
I was gonna
looks
say
bot-like,
plat. I was
not,
gonna
like,
say
not
plat.
snappy, it's because they're on a controller.
Okay.
I was gonna say plat.
Yeah, what do you
Okay.
think about Plat, Mason?
I think plat's probably a solid guess.
Okay,
Okay. Okay.
let's do it. Yes, sir.
Bang.
Yes, sir. 1-0.
That's 2 stars, baby.
Nice. Everyone
good
else
guess,
got
Blake,
it too,
good
pretty
guess.
much. All right. Oh, we got a Rhine
This is-
clip.
This is another console clip.
Yep. RB.
Okay.
We're starting with a death.
What's up?
We get a res.
I think
gotta
I
be a
know
res,
what's gonna
right?
happen.
Oh my god.
Is he gonna pin everyone off the bottom of the map down here? No, dude.
No.
What is this clip?
Okay.
He was like eating a snack or something.
Dog.
Hard to watch. Hard
Dog.
to watch right there.
What?
Dude, I mean,
do we even
that's
need to
got-
discuss this?
I mean, he was in the blendy, but I mean, yeah, I mean,
What did he
saying
do
silver,
good there?
saying silver sounds like
yeah.
I'd rather guess bronze and then be silver than guess silver and then be bronze. So I'm gonna say bronze.
Mason, what do you think? Was that just bottom of the barrel bronze? Because it looked.
I
like
think
it.
that could be silver, bro. You'd be surprised how bad people are in this game. I saw
And it was
some
console.
abilities
He's
Yeah.
right. And it was
But, like,
console.
the first thing I saw that would make me say this isn't bronze is the suck on the Rhine by the Life Weaver. When he got stuck by the Tracer Pulse Bomb, the Weaver sucked him and saved him.
He
And
got saved
that's
by
like-
the
Weaver
suck.
did what?
He got
Yeah.
saved by the suck.
I would,
Alright,
I would
alright.
say because of what I saw from the teammates there,
We gotta
this
listen to
isn't
our
bronze.
advisor.
Okay,
I would lock silver on this.
okay, we're doing it.
That was
Plat.
Look at the
okay,
guess
to be
percentage.
fair-
Was
Look
that
at the
yeah.
guess percentage.
Was that plat on Nintendo Switch?
No, that was plat on Xbox, man.
Dude, that's insane.
Oh man.
Yeah, I mean, some people kind of knew
That
ball.
surprises me.
Oh no, that's
I
diamond.
guess that
Some
just
people
goes to
are
show
trolling.
how bad Ryan is in the game right now.
Yeah, that's insane. All right,
Ryan is
last but
probably the
not
worst
least,
Ryan's ever been.
show me something good here. Oh, Doom.
gotta-
Oh, this
We
is
got a
no,
Doom clip.
I'm a Doom main.
Yeah, Mason, you'll know.
This is another console flip, though.
Man, they really.
Yeah, this website loves console kids.
Maybe console kids love this website. Okay. Okay. Oh,
the block.
I like
Yeah,
it.
I was hoping I saw that when I saw that Diva bomb
Ooh,
go off.
okay.
Okay.
That was
I'm
nice.
thinking
So
diamond or
if-
higher.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
Good
I mean,
one.
that guy was fucking plat. I think we go master.
What's that?
I would not
Right
be
here?
surprised if this is a console Masters player.
All right, we're locking it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well done.
On.
Well done.
You always got to bump it up one rank when it's a console clip.
Yeah.
Look, 39% of people made the mistake.
Damn. Yep.
We're them.
RIP.
All
Did we
right.
get a 4 out of 6 stars?
View result.
Yep.
Yep.
We got. Yep.
4 stars.
Yep. That fucking
That
plat.
plat
What the
got us,
hell,
bro.
man.
That
That
plat
is
got
messed
us.
up. All right, to round out the show, we're doing our segment pick and bans. Me, Dak, and Mason are all going to pick something, then ban something in our recent lives. My pick to start us off: new iPhone 15 Pro Max. Upgraded the phone today.
Nice.
Had the iPhone 12 for, I guess, 3 to 5 years now. I don't even remember how long it's been, if they do a yearly drop or not. I can't
Yeah.
remember. So, upgraded the phone today. Big dub.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anything? What's new about it compared to the 12?
Um,
Compared to the 12, at least.
The only thing I know so far is like my battery percentage like shows up as a number in the top right over my battery. The
Mm.
screen extends a little further on top, like it goes around where like the little
Oh, so
earphone is, a little more screen.
yeah.
And then instead of this being like a sliding volume on, volume off button, it's just called an action button that defaults to you hold it down, turns to silent, hold it down, turns back to ring, but you can make it different actions. So this is what I made it mine. Whoa.
Whoa.
Wait.
Whoa.
It's the flashlight.
Dude, that was insane, bro.
That was crazy.
Ready?
I feel like I got hit with the from Men in Black.
Yeah, you just forgot
Yeah,
everything.
bro. Dude, that's like a Discord party
Doctor
trick.
Strange, fucking Peter Parker in No Way Home. Doctor Strange, fucking no one knows who you are anymore.
That's hilarious.
But yeah,
Okay.
the action button is pretty cool. So now it's like, yo, can you give me a light? And not in the smoking way, just
Oh, it
Dang.
didn't work that time.
yeah, I placed it carefully that
Okay.
time.
Well, cool. All right. My pick is the Chicago Bears draft. All right. These boys, they
I
did
know.
the right thing. I wore the Bears hat today.
Do you give them
You
an
know.
A+ draft grade, Dak,
Um,
or just an A? I
I
think
mean,
anything
yeah.
lower than an A.
yeah, I
is-
mean, it's definitely an A. I don't know. All together, we got a tackle from Yale. Some people said after like the first 2 tackles, the rest weren't really, all that, but we'll see how he is. But I mean, obviously, Caleb Williams was the best quarterback in this draft, and I was hoping that they would take him. You got to take a chance on a guy like that, so they did. But the best part was Rome Odunze dropping to 9. Dude dropped to 9 because the Falcons chose Michael Penix at 8.
Yeah.
Like, what? You're not going to get Kirk more weapons? You're just going to draft another quarterback?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, so shout out the Falcons, shout out the Bears. We're going to be in the wild card this year, hopefully.
Bet. Mason, what's your pick?
I think my pick just has to be, I had a ribeye for dinner tonight, and that shit was good.
Hey.
I'm so jealous.
Baked potato.
Was it from anywhere or homemade?
It was a little steakhouse they just put in across the street at my place.
Okay.
Nice.
Dad picked me up for dinner. Didn't even have to pay for it.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. I had a little fillet on last night, and it was great with some mashed taters as well.
Mm-hmm.
That's essential. Essential.
All
You
great
gotta
picks
have them
there.
taters.
Great picks. Round of applause for the picks there. Getting into our band. So my band is Tolls. Ever since I got my new job, which was like 2 months ago, I've been using Tolls to get to work just because I've formed a habit of it, knowing how long it takes to get to work, so I could wake up on time. So I just never switch my schedule. But this past 2 weeks or week was $160 worth of tolls.
Oh my god!
And,
how much is a toll road?
Dude, so for that, so I'll often see it at like $2 or $3 or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, like just like when I get on and off, it's $3 a pop. Like, okay. But even then, like I didn't even calculate that because that's still a lot of money, even if it was that. So often I see it around like $2 or $3, and that's for each exit that you don't get off.
Oh my god.
And I was taking it on the way to work and on the way back, and that's a total of at least 10 exits.
Dude, that's insane.
And so
you're dropping 40 a day on tolls.
Yes. Yeah, that's what it was. It was I'm pretty sure it was a week, and it was $160.
That is insane.
And so
bro.
I had to pay that, and now I'm not taking tolls to work anymore.
You have to wake up a little earlier.
Yeah, I literally woke up 15 minutes earlier. Turns out I really didn't. Since I think it was just because I left 15 minutes earlier than normal that I avoided more traffic.
Mhm.
So I don't know what the payoff's going to be there, but the way home wasn't bad today, so
okay.
Wasn't that bad. But yeah, that's my band. Fuck tolls.
Damn, bro. All right.
Man.
My band is just tornado weather. You know.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Yeah. The other night we had a horrible storm, but no like tornado in my area. But there's definitely naders around Oklahoma City, and my power cut out a couple times. So like we'd be mid match, and I would just leave all of a sudden. It was bad. Damn. But it's funny. Harley, my dog, is not like scared of storms at all. Like she was just asleep, chilling on the couch. There was like loud thunder. She didn't even flinch. My old dog, I had a corgi growing up, and that dog would hide under the bed until the rain stopped.
My dog does the same now. All right, Mason, what's your band?
I don't want to sound like a little second grader, but Dak stole mine. I was going to say my band is the weather because I'm also
no, bro, you good.
Okie boy up here, and
you're in a different city, so tell us your experience with the weather the other night, because we didn't get that. We had different nights.
I was paying attention to it because I like, I looked at it, I was like, man, if this goes like late enough, it could get to my house, I guess. So I was like kind of paying attention to it. And I saw at one point, like, Sulphur, Oklahoma was under 4 different tornado warnings at the exact same time, which is crazy.
And where is that? Do you know where that is?
It's like south of Oklahoma City a little bit. Like,
okay.
I would say closest big city is Ardmore.
Okay. Gotcha.
It's like a little south and east of Oklahoma City.
Damn, bro. 4 tornado watches? Does that mean like 4 separate?
4 tornado warnings.
Oh my
Not just watches. So like a tornado watch is like, oh yeah.
A warning is like that shit is coming.
Like
it's touched.
Yeah.
Damn.
It's like a more likely than not, this storm is shitting out a tornado right now. So like take cover is what a tornado warning is. And most of I think the farthest north warning I saw close to me up here in Tulsa was like one that ended just south of Bixby. So it got a little close, but I was fine, obviously. So
well, good. Damn, bro. Yeah, the weather's been
But
crazy.
yeah, fuck tornado weather.
Yeah.
Hope everyone that got affected is doing all right,
Yeah.
getting the help they need.
All right.
Good picking bands.
Yeah.
Great picking bands. Did we miss any major points of your gaming career, Mason?
I don't think so, man.
Other than our occasional Valorant 5-man trolls. That's all we. That's the only
Yeah.
thing
Yeah. We
didn't
did leave
talk
that out.
about.
We do play Valorant a lot, or we did
Yeah.
back in the day. I haven't been on much, but I just re-downloaded it recently. Blake's
So we
game is
back on.
broken. Blake's game is broken though.
Yeah, I need to see if that fixed itself. But nonetheless, Mason, thank you so much for joining us. It was a pleasure to have you on. Episode 24 in the books. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you did enjoy. And we'll see you in episode 25. Peace.